Doing less in retirement might sound like the reward you've earned. But here's the surprising truth. When it comes to your brain, doing nothing can quietly speed up aging. If you found yourself sitting in silence more often, watching TV without thinking, or going days without mentally engaging, your brain might be slowing down in ways you don't even notice, until it's too late. In this video, we'll uncover why low mental activity after 60 can increase your risk of memory loss, depression, and cognitive decline, and what you can do, simply, gently, to keep your brain sharp, engaged, and full of life. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Number 1. The dangerous myth of well-deserved rest. There's a story we've all been told. You work hard your whole life, and then you finally get to stop. You retire, you rest, you slow down, you deserve it. And while there's truth in that, especially the part about needing more rest as we age, there's also a hidden danger. Because when slowing down turns into doing nothing, the brain doesn't relax. It begins to shrink. You see, the brain isn't built to coast. It's built to adapt, to solve, to imagine, to engage. Even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, your brain still craves stimulation, not stress but challenge, not noise but novelty. The real danger begins when days start to blur together, when your routine becomes predictable, when your world gets quieter and smaller. You might think you're resting, but your brain may be slowly fading into idle mode. This is where the myth of well-deserved rest becomes misleading. Rest is essential. Burnout is real. But rest should restore you, not numb you. And if you're watching this and thinking, "That's me. I'm doing less and feeling less," don't blame yourself. Most people were never taught how to stay mentally alive after 60. We were taught to retire from work, but never taught how to keep wondering, learning, and engaging. And that's what we'll unpack in this video. Because your brain is still growing, still ready to light up. It just needs the right spark. Number 2. How inactivity accelerates brain aging. You've probably heard the phrase, use it or lose it. Nowhere is that more true than in your brain. Inside your head are about 86 billion neurons, and they're constantly communicating, building networks, and adapting to your daily habits. When you challenge your brain, it stays flexible and strong. But when you stop using parts of it, those networks begin to weaken. This is what scientists call cognitive decline. And one of the biggest contributors isn't disease. It's disuse. Studies have shown that older adults who live sedentary, mentally unengaged lives are at a higher risk of memory loss, reduced attention span, and even early-onset dementia. Inactivity doesn't just affect your muscles. It changes the very structure of your brain, shrinking the hippocampus, which is essential for learning and recall. And here's the sneaky part. This kind of mental aging happens slowly. You won't notice it all at once. It begins with small things: forgetting names, losing your train of thought, or feeling disinterested in conversations. But underneath, your brain is receiving fewer signals to grow, to adapt, to stay sharp. Doing nothing over time teaches your brain that it's no longer needed, and the brain, being efficient, begins to shut down the systems it no longer uses. But here's the good news. This process can be slowed and even reversed. The brain is capable of change at any age, and even small daily efforts, a puzzle, a walk, a meaningful conversation, can start to reawaken parts of your mind you thought were long gone. In the next section, we'll look at how to spot the signs that your brain may be quietly slowing and how to catch it early, before it becomes your new normal. Number 3. Signs your brain may be slowing without you realizing. Most people think cognitive decline shows up as something dramatic, forgetting your address, getting lost, or repeating stories. But the early signs are much quieter, and that's what makes them so easy to miss. You might notice yourself searching for words more often. Not big ones, just everyday things. You might walk into a room and forget why. Conversations might become more draining, or you find yourself zoning out halfway through. And reading? You get a few pages in and suddenly realize you haven't absorbed a word. These moments are easy to brush off. We laugh, call it a senior moment, and move on. But when they start to stack up, that's your brain waving a quiet flag, asking for attention. There's also the emotional toll. A slowing brain often brings boredom, a kind of dullness that settles in, where even things you used to enjoy feel flat. That can lead to low-level depression, irritability, and the sense that every day is just a repeat of the last. And here's the hardest part. Most people around you won't notice. They'll assume you're fine. You'll look fine. But internally, it's like your mind is running on dimmer lights. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It means your brain needs more fuel, more stretch, more surprise. Not more pressure or perfection, just more meaningful motion. And that brings us to a powerful turning point. Because once you recognize the signs, you can start giving your brain exactly what it's been craving all along. Up next, what your brain actually needs to stay young. And it's probably not what you think. Number 4. What your brain actually craves to stay young. Your brain doesn't ask for much, but it does ask for the right kind of fuel. And no, it's not just crossword puzzles or Sudoku. Your brain craves 3 things to stay sharp after 60. Mental challenge, meaningful connection, and physical movement. First, mental challenge. This doesn't mean hard math problems or academic reading. It means giving your brain something slightly unfamiliar, something it has to figure out. That could be learning a new skill, trying a new recipe, changing your walking route, or picking up a musical instrument you've never touched. Novelty lights up the brain. It builds new pathways, and that keeps your mind agile. Second, social connection. Humans are wired to engage, to laugh, to listen, to share ideas. Conversations aren't just good for the soul. They're workouts for the brain. They test memory, emotional reading, timing, language, and recall, all at once. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been shown to accelerate mental aging just as fast as physical inactivity. And third, movement. Yes, your brain is directly impacted by how you move your body. Aerobic activity increases blood flow to the brain, improves memory, and stimulates neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells. Even simple gentle walks each day can help restore clarity and boost mood. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency and variety. When your days include even small doses of learning, connecting, and moving, your brain gets the message. I'm still needed, I'm still growing, I still matter. And when your brain believes that, everything else starts to shift. Next, we'll explore simple ways to build these habits into your daily life, without feeling overwhelmed or starting from scratch. Number 5. Easy daily practices that reignite mental sharpness. You don't need a dramatic lifestyle overhaul to sharpen your mind. In fact, it's the small, doable things, done consistently, that make the biggest difference. Let's start with mental challenge. Try reading 1 short article a day, out loud. Reading aloud activates more brain regions than silent reading. Or pick a new topic and learn just 1 fact about it each day. It could be birds, history, gardening, or even a new language. The point isn't mastery. It's stimulation. Next, connection. Schedule 1 meaningful conversation each day. It could be a phone call, a coffee chat, or even commenting thoughtfully in an online group. Not just small talk, real talk. Share something personal. Ask something deeper than, "How are you?" That kind of engagement lights up your emotional and cognitive centers like few other activities. And then, movement. Set a timer and stretch for 5 minutes in the morning. Go for a walk after lunch. Dance in your kitchen while dinner cooks. Physical motion doesn't just energize your body. It resets your brain, especially if done regularly. You can even combine these. Call a friend while you walk. Listen to an audiobook on something new while you stretch. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. If this feels like too much, start with what we call a 15-minute brain boost ritual. 5 minutes of movement, 5 minutes of learning, 5 minutes of connection. That's it. And even that can make a huge difference over time. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do something with intention. Because your brain, even now, is waiting for you to show it what's next. Let's wrap up with one final reflection, and a reminder that it's never too late to reawaken your mind. Aging doesn't mean your brain is shutting down. It means your brain is asking you to shift, from speed to depth, from noise to meaning, from doing everything to doing what matters most. If you felt foggy, dull, or disconnected lately, don't assume you're broken. Assume your brain is underfed. Because here's the truth most people miss. Your mind doesn't crave more time, it craves more purpose. So give it something to reach for. A conversation, a question, a walk, a book. Not to be productive, but to stay alive inside. Doing nothing might feel safe, but it's the slowest path to losing the parts of you that once lit up the room. You don't need a full plan. You just need to begin. Today, find one thing that wakes your brain up, and tomorrow, do it again. Because you're not done. You're evolving.